colleague Pete, friend Pete.
Colleague Pete, friend Pete.
Colleague Pete.
Colleague Pete. Colleague Pete. Colleague to all, friend to none.
Hello, I'm Laurie hailing from partsFUNknown, and welcome to No Holds Board, the board game show, but about wrestling. But not about wrestling board games, because wrestling board games is bad. Instead, we're taking good board games, but forced wrestling into them. I'm joined by Dan today.
Hi.
I'm joined by Sullivan.
Hello.
I'm joined by Pete.
Hi.
I'm joined by Tempest.
Whoa.
And I'm joined by TV's Adam Pearson.
Hello.
And today we're playing Fun Facts, which is a fact-finding game where we're going to be using questions, and then we're going to put numerical values down. And we're trying to guess where in the roster of everyone else we sit. So it might be questions like, what year did you start watching wrestling? We'll put our answers on the back of these, write them down. The first player will place their token, and then everyone else has to put theirs either above or below, depending on whether they think their number that they've written is higher or lower. For everyone that we get in the right order, we get a point. For everyone that we don't get, we just take it out and we don't get points. It's kind of cooperative, which is a shame, because people want to watch us infight, I imagine.
There will be infighting.
Infight. Yeah, don't you worry.
Tempest is the first player, because he has the first player token, this little star. So why don't you, Tempest, read us the first prompt?
The first prompt. How long in minutes is the ideal wrestling pay-per-view?
In minutes?
In minutes?
I've got to do maths now.
There's 60 minutes in an hour, Dan.
That part I knew.
And what's 60 times 7?
So.
This is hard to judge.
This is hard to judge because I don't know.
Adam thinks that he wants a longer pay-per-view than Tempest. So Tempest is in the middle. This is the lower value. I think I want a shorter pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Than Tempest.
Because we can't forget Tempest likes Japanese
know
wrestling
what I
that goes
want.
up to 12 days.
I think I'm going to put myself here, in between.
And I think I'm also going to do that. I think probably me and Laurie have the same answer.
10 minutes.
What a favourite beat.
I just want it over and done with.
Yeah.
Let's have Roman walk to the ring, and we cut to black.
Instead of a wrestling match, they come out and read the results and then go home.
Yeah.
Like
Oh my god, that'd be so much
Roman
better.
Reigns
That's so much more like Football Manager.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's what we want. Roman Reigns won. Cody Rhodes nil.
I think I'm somewhere in the middle, so I'm going to put myself above Sully Bob's, underneath Pete, where I've always dreamed of being.
Tempest gets the final choice. He gets to move himself from his position, or he gets to stay.
I don't think I want that long of a pay-per-view.
Well, apparently you want the longest pay-per-view, except for Adam Pearson.
Yeah, so far.
I always feel more confident letting it lie, because then I feel like I can blame everyone else, but I do think this is wrong.
But my thing is, I feel like we're all probably in a similar range.
I think so, yeah.
Maybe.
I think we're actually...
It's just a question of like who's gone granular in the maths.
It's true. I'm going to move it. I'm going to move it down 1.
A damning indictment of Pete's pay-per-view taste. Pete, why do you want,
I'm gonna lock
a long pay-per-view,
Idiot Pete.
Come on, as long as Adam Pearson.
Bloody hell, Pete.
An extra half hour for every fucking X he put on his name.
Should we start revealing and find out?
Okay.
Bottom to the top.
So I went for a cool 150 minutes. Just 2.5 hours.
Yep.
I think that's the perfect length for a pay-per-view, because that's probably as long as my attention span.
It's about
At its
takeover length.
maximum, that's the length of my attention
It's like a
span.
good takeover length.
Yeah. I will have left the room 4 or 5 times in this thing. I'll have gone to the toilet. I'll have played on my phone. But yes, I will have been mostly paying attention.
I think you're absolutely right.
Oh, look at that.
Interesting.
Absolutely. That's exactly what
Very
I'm
good.
for as well.
Now,
Very good.
I appreciate your logic as well. I, however, have taken it. I popped an extra hour on.
Dan! 3.5 hours?
Well, because I don't want a 4-hour pay-per-view. That's well too long. 3 hours is the same. 3 hours is the same as an episode of Raw. Most pay-per-views these days are about 3 to 3.5 hours, and I've enjoyed a lot of them recently.
But is it ideal? Or is it just what it is now?
Well, because I think the way I take in a pay-per-view is like, oh, that was a nice match. Right now, I'm going to go get myself a little snackette, and now I'm going to go... And each match is its own beast. Like, I'm not just sat there, like, the whole time. Also, we were in Wembley from, like, 5 p.m. till 10. That's a 5-hour show.
Yeah, and it was too long.
And it was in Wembley!
And it was in
They're
Wembley!
all in Wembley!
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with a 3.5-hour show.
I think you're fucking mad.
You're
Dan,
crazy.
how many days did you think that Adam Pearson put down?
I've gone for 2 hours 45 minutes.
2 hours.
That's fair.
45 minutes. Now we have a snafu here because somebody made an error. So we're going to take Dan out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I like wrestling. I am.
Just like to point out that where I put mine was correct until everybody else moved me 150.
Oh.
I agree. 2.5 hours.
2.5
Perfect
hours
length.
is
Perfect length.
Adam Pearson.
Adam Pearson.
And at the very top is the correct answer.
7 days.
My guy.
That's what I was thinking about.
3.5 hours, you guys are crazy.
Pay-per-view needs to feel
Hours.
special, which for me feels like
if
if
it's shorter than Raw, it feels basic.
that's what I mean.
And also with a 3-hour pay-per-view.
But Raw should be shorter.
That's why I'm saying discuss that Raw should be shorter.
I'm not paying $9.99 a month for Raw. Like, I want my value
want
for
your
money,
money's worth.
and also with pay-per-views that are 3 hours, I've always gone away going, that was good, though this match needed another 10 minutes.
I'll just
Premium.
chuck a couple of hours of wrestling on. I don't really care.
Dan.
6 matches is like perfect because you've because you've got the main championships, the tag championships, the women's side of the division, and you just have like a few other big matches.
Dan,
You can still
Clash
have
at the
one of
Castle
those
had
in there.
6 matches, and it was brilliant.
Have you ever
How long
heard
did it go?
Probably 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Have you ever heard of the phrase "leave them wanting more"?
No, the phrase is leave them having exactly what they want, and they can go to bed smiling.
Dan says leave too much in the room.
All right,
So 4.
everybody
Okay, so
take
we got
the
4. We
things
need to
back.
beat
4
4
points.
next time.
Yeah.
So we managed to match up 4 there. That is not all of them, guys. We need to work together better here. The only thing we're trying to beat is ourselves here because it's a cooperative game. So let's see what we can do with the next prompt. Adam Pearson.
Okay, let's do this. What is the oldest age a wrestler should win a world championship? When I read that out loud, my kind of work brain kicked in and I just went, ageism. And so now I'm like, really?
I changed my mind. Hold on.
I'm happy with my answer.
I'm all right with mine.
I don't know where I'm going to place it.
Not a clue. I don't know what
Adam's
anyone's
got the easy
thinking.
job. He gets to place first.
Luckily, all I've got to do is put mine down.
Because you shouted the word ageism.
Yep, I think that's fair. That's a fair cop.
Peter.
I don't know. I don't know what anyone's thinking, so I'm just going to go in the middle.
So you're more ageist than Laurie, but less ageist than me.
That's
Good.
correct.
You're like
Yeah.
our North Star here, Adam. We know that you've put whatever age they want on there.
Yeah.
There we go.
So, because of my awareness that Adam has the power to change his thing, I'm plucking myself right up there.
Interesting.
All right, in that case, I'm gonna go right there.
I'm going to... Oh, but do I leave it? Because now I'm implying that Dan's a word. No, I'm going to leave it.
All right. Well,
Okay.
Laurie, it's you first again.
Yeah, we'll see.
Just put yourself at the bottom every
I
time.
didn't put myself at the bottom. I put myself at the bottom of 2, and everyone else put me at the bottom.
Everyone else went, wow, I can't believe you're this person.
Now I
Yeah.
went with 45.
Okay.
Interesting.
I think mostly just because at that point you want to be on the wind down. You also have to do all the touring. You have to be the face of the company. You have to be the whole shebang.
Sullivan.
Laurie, once again, you've written the correct answer.
Yes, me and Sullivan on
That's
the wavelength
crazy.
We absolutely
today.
are. We've got the same,
Yeah.
same mind.
So I believe last time you both put the same answer, and I had the same answer but higher. It's good because I also put the same answer. 45.
Whoa!
We're all on the same wavelength. Let's
Us really on
go.
the same
Yeah,
wavelength.
it's just, we're just
Look at
clever
us.
guys.
For the first time, we have a different answer.
Is it a good one though?
But it's 45 and a half.
It's 49.
Oh, okay.
It's a big jump.
Yeah.
I think we could still be in good
Yeah.
I think we can still be in good shape here. I went with 49, pretty much strictly for Edge. Granted, he didn't win a world title during this last run, but when he cut that promo and they were reintroducing the world heavyweight title, I was like, yeah, I give it to him. And he's 49 years old.
We are at 4. Adam, it all comes down to this. We could beat our score from last time.
Come on, Adam. Come on, Adam.
45.
Ageism!
Why do you hate old people, Adam?
I-
We don't.
Yeah.
We don't.
How did you cower to ageism just now?
Yeah. It's crazy.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm
You let us
sorry.
all down. Adam.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mum. I'm sorry to all my friends who are 45 and who will one day be 45.
We can still get 5.
I
Not confident.
Oh no!
I'm confident.
Oh Dan.
No. I would like to say that I do have a real issue with this question because you were like can versus should. Should feels judgier to me because should is like, I'm sorry, you're kind of past it. You don't get a chance.
You should
And
have
I
won that
think
45.
the idea of should and age and things like that. Age is just a number. Purely to write down a number, I kind of wanted to do a protest, but I put 50. I do very strongly feel that if you are 50 and you are killing it and you are good at it and it works in a storyline, why not? I think if you're 55, 56, that's the period where you're wanting to. If it's a case of you think you can't
55,
go,
You should have. You should have won a championship by now.
but that's who picks it? Like Damien Priest is 41.
Well, guys, we've got 5 there.
Okay,
We need to
You
go for
all
the 4.
doubted me, and then it turned out I was a woke liberal.
All right, next question. It's me in the hot seat.
Let's go.
Every seat you're in is the hot seat.
Thank you.
Brown noser.
What year was wrestling at its worst?
Woof.
I have the easy jump. I'm just going to place mine first.
That's fucking ridiculous, Laurie.
Laurie,
You
you're
would
mad.
think?
I'm thinking avoid.
that
Yeah,
one?
I think I'm correct.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
Considering it's my opinion.
I don't know what Laurie will have put, but I'm gonna do this. I think.
I'm gonna do this.
I mean, we've been on the same wavelength the whole time, so we've all put the same thing. Obviously.
Obviously.
Wavelength's a different game.
I'm
true.
gonna go.
We can see what you put down.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
I'm gonna go around here.
Interesting. Interesting.
Ooh.
Interesting. You need to put yours in, Adam.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Oh, so
Oh, I see
That's
what you're
where he's
doing.
moving,
I
suppose,
see. I
then.
see.
I
see,
thought
see.
he'd got
God,
mad too.
Pete.
I thought he'd gone insane. I'm sorry.
I'm scared to move. I'm going to
Valid.
stay.
Okay.
I'm so intrigued by tempo going right at the top there.
I think I've got a vague idea as to what
I think
he's
I know.
saying.
I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about like, oh god, like 2013 was dire, or 2012, or and 2007, I'm in noughties. But the thing that I thought about with those most was like, you sort of indie scene, and if wrestling took off and became amazing in like 2015-16, the talent was already there. So the big mainstream companies trash, but the scene and Japan and everything growing. I went for because of Old Men and Bad Business 1995.
That's pretty reliable right
Valid.
there.
Valid.
I think if I'm not wrong, it was the worst year financially for WWF. I keep thinking of like Hulk Hogan prattling around in 3 cages and the Giant and the Sumo and it's just like if you want to watch some wrestling, your choices are dire in 1995.
I see. The thing is that I've considered 1995, and I wish I had gone that way, but I just couldn't remember which one was the worst year.
Right.
And then
They're all bad.
I mean, all around that time is pretty bad. So I unfortunately went for 1993.
Oh.
That's also a very good answer. That's a bad Rumble, bad WrestleMania,
Yeah.
bad SummerSlam.
Yeah. Nothing.
WCW is still shit. It's a bad year.
Yeah.
I went by what the common consensus is, and everyone says, well, bad year, innit? It's 1995.
Yay!
Very good.
Yeah. Because it's bad. Everyone says it's bad, so it's bad. That
Diesel
works.
versus Mabel.
Diesel versus
Good
Mabel. That's what I
gracious,
think of. When I
yeah.
think of 95, it's Diesel and Mabel. Haven't seen it, don't want to.
The collective knee strength in the wrestling industry in 1995 was not high.
Well, now we take quite a jump.
Oh dear.
Yep, oh dear indeed. I went because it was an awesome year. 2011.
2011.
You're still
2011's fine.
still
Still
currently
running.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
You're
know,
correct.
I have a list on my phone of just batshit insane things that happened in WWE in 2011.
Do you just write lists wherever you go?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You love it.
go on, man.
It's
Just
his natural
fall out of
state.
his mind everywhere he goes.
I
We're just
have
scoop-
to
we're just scooping
document
him
it
up and putting him
somewhere.
I love it.
Miz Main Event Mania and won. It was an awful Mania.
It was.
I also think the Rumble was tack.
Yeah.
40-man Rumble.
That's
Yeah,
the 41
yeah.
but the arena one, yeah.
And then they went on first.
Yeah.
And it's just like, ugh.
Kevin Nash costing CM Punk the title and
Yeah.
then never leading to a match.
Yeah.
The sledgehammer ladder match.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Capital Punishment was that year with
Capital
R-Truth versus
Punishment.
John Cena, yeah.
Woof.
Now, I'm really bad at remembering dates.
Mm.
And what happened in what year specifically.
Did you
so
ever
I just
figure
went with
out
the
when-
years. I have essentially just gone for a year I remember talking about wrestling a lot and being like, oh, it's really shit and boring. And it was 2018.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, we're still in the
I think
running.
for me, like there was just nothing remarkable happening, and that for me is that's worse than really bad. Because actually, bad. Like the thing is, you guys are saying like, oh well, I haven't gone back and watched these things, but I've heard about them. People are still talking about really bad stuff. People aren't just talking about sort of a malaise of nothing really happening. But I had to talk about it every week, and
That right there.
that specifically was an affront to me.
Did you
That's Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar all
Yeah,
year.
that's Mania 34, right?
Yeah.
Oh
That year.
God, yeah, it is.
And then the first Saudi show as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That year. Yeah.
and AEW wasn't. It was a year in
John
the
Cena
making.
hair.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Tempest.
There's one left,
Mm-hmm.
and I put it at the top for a reason.
Yeah,
We all remember.
I think.
2020.
Yes. That was going to be one of my answers.
A very good answer.
Very good answer.
I considered pretty much everything else that was written down here. Like, where do you go in the mid 90s? Like 92 is terrible. It goes on and on. There's a lot of bad 90s years, but I'm never going back to watch anything in 2020.
That's a
It's
really good
it's
point.
really a shame because I think so much good storytelling was done in AEW in 2020. There's a lot of really fun bits at the start of that year with Drew winning the Rumble and Edge coming back, and there was a lot of potential to be a great year.
Firefly Funhouse.
I'm never ever going back to watch matches from that year.
Yeah. Which means we got
5
5
of the
again.
6.
Five
We
again.
got 5 again.
Good.
We're
Listen.
getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah.
It is almost admirable, but fucking pull it together, guys. We're so close to getting the perfect deal.
How old would Brock Lesnar have to be for you to be able to beat him up?
How old's he now?
Old. 72.
How old was he in his prime?
I presume we're putting him in an aging machine, but I'm not waiting until he's.
No, exactly.
No,
it,
because
wouldn't- it wouldn't
then
scale.
I'll be
older
too
as
old.
well.
Exactly,
I
because
have
then
to
I'd
be
be
now.
too
still
old.
beat me up.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, yeah, it's either we put him in an aging machine or we build a time machine.
We should go forward.
Brock Lesnar's on his ranch. An old man.
Rocking back and
Back and forth in a shit. Smoke starts to fill the field. This rickety time machine. Sullivan comes out and clocks him in the face. There, I told you. 76.
And then like go back into time.
Yeah.
Sable comes out with a little tray of iced tea. What happened, dear? I don't know. He keeps rocking.
But I've developed a Yorkshire accent.
I was going to say, why is he northern?
You clearly haven't been listening.
Yeah.
You know what, Roman Reigns? You're a bloody bastard. And I don't mind saying it in front of all these people.
I'm going to go here, guys. Might be rocking the boat. So.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go here.
I feel quite comfortable going here.
Oh.
I think I know what Dan might have done.
So currently, Adam Pearson thinks he could take the youngest version of Brock Lesnar.
The youngest version of Brock.
Yep.
Tempo.
I'm gonna go here.
Interesting.
Somewhat not confidently, but we'll see.
Laurie.
I'm just going to put myself next to my mind buddies.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
What a sandwich.
We're not going to be mind buddies for long. Goodbye.
Hey.
Mm.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Adam
Adam
Pearson.
Pearson, please explain.
Oh, I will.
Adam's like current age.
I have thought this through. You joke. Yes, I have.
46.
So
you
beat
could
beat
Brock
up
Lesnar
Brock
right
So
now.
2 years ago.
Well, no. The question was, what is the youngest age you think you could beat Brock Lesnar? I reckon I could beat him now using my Make-A-Wish that I'm owed.
The geometric thought process there, that's fantastic.
Your make-a-wish is to beat Brock Lesnar up. Brock just has to sit there and take it until he's knocked out.
That's spectacular though.
You know what?
Word.
I love the logic.
God.
I love the logic.
Wow! Well done,
I
Adam
love that.
Pearson. That's incredible. Wow.
That's really good.
I'm almost devastated to ruin it immediately. But I was I took the question to be like, aging machine could go either way.
Yeah.
So I've said 7. I think I
We de-age him.
Oh my God!
But once he gets to 8, he started putting on the
Just
muscle.
like
He started doing the work.
Well, but maybe because I went back in time and at the age of 7, just gave him a clean lariat, and he was like, "Well, I've never been beaten up like that again."
What, you couldn't beat him up as a baby?
Why did you go for 7?
I did take a second and go, should I put 5? And then I went, no, I wouldn't be a 5-year-old. 7.
Your morals would stop
They
you at
start
5.
to get a bit mouthy
Yeah,
at
yeah,
7.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh my
I
God.
don't want it.
Wow.
Very good. I
Oh,
love
these are great answers. Laurie?
I went for a respectable 80.
The jump is real.
Yeah, that's valid.
But I will be watching every day.
Just waiting
Check
for
that
you.
man.
Yeah.
Watch his back slowly arch, and I'll be there.
Where would you
When he's
start?
collecting his gyro.
I went for 89. I've just
Jesus.
I saw what was his name? We were chatting about this the other day. It was
George Foreman.
George Foreman,
Foreman.
and he was punching a bag in like his mid-70s, and I was like, oh fuck, that's fucking terrifying. I'm gonna have to wait until he's like in his late 80s.
Tempest.
Regrettably.
Oh,
Regrettably.
85.
Yeah, in the 80s era.
Yeah.
Similar thought process to Sullivan. I remember watching a video of former amateur wrestler Danny Hodge, who was an inspiration to many of the tough guys of the mid 1900s and such. He was able at like the mid 80s maybe to like crush an apple in his hand and put a guy in a headlock where he was like, okay, but do it for real, and he just went and like almost killed the guy.
oh my god.
So I don't fuck with these really old amateur wrestlers, but I was like, I don't want to put like 90. That's ridiculous.
I wish you guys had gone younger. TBH, I thought I was being crazy when I said 86.
No.
But, you know.
What
So we can actually make
Yeah,
this
yeah,
work.
we'll make it work.
So we can make this work.
Is that how that works?
Yes,
Yes.
you can.
You put the best order that you can do out of the ones you got.
So
I've never
4.
been in a fight. I need him to be real old.
Yeah, but
Because-
we caught some guys getting my Tonya'd before we turn up. Then it'd be like, you know,
Yeah.
Hey, just do a flip.
Just do a flip.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
right.
you got all
You'll
that
never
parkour
see it coming.
skill.
You're right.
Yeah.
Brock is notoriously really bad against people who do flips.
that wasn't
That's
as
a
good
4.
as last time.
It was
but
not.
Some
Boo
excellent,
hiss.
some
We get excellent answers.
ideas of how to beat up Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
I think.
Just waiting for him to
And if
be in
all
the
of us
80s.
work together,
Yeah, I think we'd have a chance.
we could take him down when he's 100.
How old were you when you first went to a wrestling show?
Ooh, good question. Oh, that changed.
Cantona.
I just realised something. I don't think I expected it to come from
It stored one football reference to deploy it.
That's the one I got up here.
Cantona. Were you hypnotised as a child?
Sullivan, take us away.
Yeah.
Come on, Dan. Hit us with it. Jesus. Okay.
You're mad.
There he goes.
I'm as old as Christ himself.
So we're all going quite young.
I have no
Wording of
idea.
that has changed.
Some people, Adam, the thing to remember is that some people only have quite young around the table.
Yeah, no, I know.
Not everyone is an elder statesman.
No. As the elder statesman here, I reckon
I was including myself in that.
Oh, I know, but I'm dirty and jaded at this point.
It's the title of your album.
Dirty and Jaded.
And my book.
Yeah.
Interesting. Laurie. Checks out. I don't know when Dan went to go watch wrestling.
Okay, Sullivan, do you want to move?
No, I think I'm happy there.
Okay.
I think that's good.
I think that's a good shout, Sullivan.
Adam Pearson, please
So-
reveal and explain.
It all depends how we define wrestling show. As in, did wrestling, as we know it here, happen at a thing where I was spectating? Very well. I was 6 years old.
Nice.
Okay. It was Jesus Christ the Rumble Saviour, and it was in a random church hall in Croydon, and it was nuts.
Who won?
Jesus!
That's spectacular.
Not the first time, though.
We thought it lost, and we came back 3 days later, and it was all.
That's really good.
It's a good joke. Tempest.
So far, so good. I was 12.
Yeah.
Started watching wrestling at 11. By the end of that year, I'd gone to my first show.
Nice.
It was a Raw SmackDown double feature because it was the week of Christmas in 2008.
Wow.
I saw the first ever Divas Championship title change.
Wow.
What
a moment.
So mine, we went, never went as like a child, but as soon as I became an independent, I went for my best friend's 18th birthday. I was 17. Because we were watching a Raw episode on TV together, and then it advertised Raw coming to the O2 in London. Michael Cole, I think, got knighted on that episode.
Right.
I remember it.
Yeah. With Jack Swagger and stuff. It was
Sounds like it was great.
2011 sounds like.
2011. It was.
Bad year.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Lizzie. Dan, do you want to turn yours over?
It's the real queen on that show.
Yeah, the real one.
I didn't go and see my first wrestling show live until 2018.
Wow.
When I was 28, it was a Pro Wrestling Eve show. However, the question was when you went to your first live wrestling show, and in the year of our Lord 2004, on a NWA UK show in Maidstone's Moat Park Leisure Centre, I wrestled in the Rumble, and I was sweet 14.
No. It's probably going to be this, I think.
Well, either works, probably.
Well, we'll see. Let's blame me.
Either way works. Well, for me, I never watched it as a child. And then it wasn't until I had started working with Norrell's Bard and everything. But my friend Pete said, not you, Peter, my better
actual friend Pete. Not colleague Pete, friend Pete.
Colleague Pete, friend Pete.
Colleague Pete.
Colleague Pete. Colleague Pete. Colleague to all, friend to none. Good friend Pete invited me down to a pub in Balham. We love you, Pete.
I'm really glad.
Do you know that when Pete was 17, he went with a colleague to
I'm really glad this isn't playing on any of my insecurities or anything. This is great. This is really good.
We love you, Pete. We love you. Anyway, so I was invited down to the Bedford pub in Balham and watched. I think it's EWE is the promotion. I don't know. Check them out.
Ew.
the sheep promotion.
It's only sheep.
Only Welsh wrestlers.
And it's a fantastic promotion because the guy who was the champion at the time fucking hated my friend Pete. He fucking hated him because he was there every week going, "You're a piece of shit." The guy's the champion. He would constantly just single him and only him out and fucking dunk on only my mate. It was amazing. So I was 29.
Yay!
Wow.
There
All right.
we go.
There we go.
Oh,
All
man.
comes down to this.
It all comes down to this. It's
the
still
fact
going to be
that-
5.
Yeah, it's still only be 5. I was also 20.
Hey!
I
This
went to
is
see
absurd.
wrestling as a kid. I went to see ICW in I'm pretty sure it was Camden. And that was really good. And Big Damo was on the show, wrestling. And the best heckle I've ever heard at a wrestling show happened. Big Damo was wrestling and someone just went, "You're a wizard, Harry!"
That's amazing. Pretty good. That's pretty good. Still a 5 though.
Well, 5. So
Fucking hell, guys.
Guys, we've got one last chance to make good. To get the full house.
Last one.
It is Dan Layton's turn to be the lead player.
How many matches is the perfect amount for a wrestling pay-per-view?
All right, Dan. Hot take, Dan. Dan's buffering.
I really am. I'm trying to book my own show.
Yeah. It's hard once you get past 20, isn't it?
Start losing track.
They call it the Tony Khan problem.
Everyone, comments are going to eat me.
Well, how am I gonna debut all these belts I've had, mate?
Yeah.
I love belts.
Okay.
Tony Khan and Tommy Wiseau love belts.
Judging from our earlier conversation, I'm gonna guess that Dan wants more matches on the show than I do.
Oh my god, I feel like I've... Yeah. Carry on.
I feel like you've destroyed everything. You ruined it again, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you get to
You get to fix it.
fix
I
it.
think I'm here. One. Give me one match and I'm out.
0.3 of a match.
Yeah.
I think I'm here.
I think brain triplets
Brain triplets.
down at the bottom.
BT. Nope.
Right. I think...
You know when you do a bit and you're like, nah, it's not gonna work. Instantly.
BT!
Nope.
Which is technically
Yep, that one.
I think a mixture of...
That's what happens when you share. All 3 people share a brain. Clearly, you and I were using it at that moment.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all right, Pete. You're a good colleague.
Just a colleague.
I think...
Oh, hang on. We've broken Sullivan.
Come back.
Good, I'm back. I'm back.
I think... So I struggled answering this question. So I think I'm just gonna do that. Because I think that my answer may shock you.
Okay.
All right, BuzzFeed.
Yeah, number 5 will shock you.
Stick around to the end of the video to find out. You've been clickbaited. So, we were discussing 6 earlier, and then I was like, I think Dan raised a valid point. What about your blood feud? And I thought, let's have another women's match. So I put 8.
Okay. Interesting.
Gives you time for a world champion, gives you time for a mid-card title, gives you time for tag, gives you time for like either the other mid-card title or the other world championship, women's world championship, another match, and a blood feud, and maybe something else for a laugh. Multi-man.
Sure. I mean, we were discussing 6 earlier, and it's the right answer. So that's 6 right there.
Well, I placed mine first, and then you decided to place yours above me.
Yeah.
Thus pushing
What
me
happened
to
to the
bottom
brain
without making me
chat?
look. What?
What happened to the brain?
We were
shot?
actually using it to come up with brain triplets. So we didn't.
I don't think you heard me say BT, Dan. It took a lot of brain power to use that.
Well, me and Pete were sharing the brain that day.
There you go.
6.
Can only be one of us at a time, clearly. I think you don't need to have every title on every pay-per-view.
I agree, which is why I went 7.
Nice.
Ooh.
Similar
Good,
thought.
good.
This comes from the time that I was watching wrestling. There were about 7 pay-per-view matches per show, and I mean, there were pretty solid pay-per-views during that time.
This comes from a time that you were watching wrestling.
Yeah.
So you're not watching wrestling now.
We've uncovered the truth.
It's a conspiracy,
found me
guys.
out.
Wait a second, that's not his real face, that's a mask! What?! Fuck!
And it's Diane Weiss.
It's been there the whole time.
I do believe in a sort of longer show with more space to breathe for the matches and the way it goes. But as I was visualizing a card and I was seeing the number of, little graphics that I wanted, I felt the perfect number was 7.
Very good.
Ooh, all right.
When I wrote down my answer, I was actually watching Dan Layton visualising other people visualising the perfect card, and the correct answer is 7.
Wow, look at that.
Laurie was
If
there
it
the whole
wasn't for
time.
Laurie. Wow.
Me.
Look at that.
So that's it. We didn't manage to get 6, and it's all Pete's fault. Thank you for joining us for No Holds Barred. We'll be back next week where we'll be playing. What are we going to be playing next week, Tempest?
We are going to be playing Say Anything.
Anything. See you then. Jam that jam, everyone.
Jam it.
Deepest V.
Deepest V.
Most unnecessary nipples on a podcast.
Deepest V.
Sluttiest presenter, brackets low cut top.